What's also, there is so much going on. And I would suggest that everybody watch this television show called V. That's the big hit. And friends, there's a lot more going on with that show than you may understand.
They're throwing it in your face what Obama's doing. It's revelation of the method.
It's all about Obama. It's all about world government. It's all about them telling us what they're going to do, which they have to do, which is part of their game. And they're putting.
And notice the aliens. We're not saying it's really aliens. It's the archetype are going to suck all our resources.
Of course.
Cap and trade is about shutting everything off to us, training us that we're saving the earth. I mean, these people are saying, "Oh, V is exposing Obama." No, they're telling you what they're doing. Just like when I talk about the New World Order, they go, "You mean Hulk Hogan?" Now, when I talk about a global elite shutting off our resources to exterminate us, they go, "Oh, you mean V." George, talk to the producer. How long are you going to be in Austin?
I'm going to be here for about another 10, 12 days.
Why don't we set you up right now for a full hour sometime next week?
I love being here, Alex.
George, awesome having you.
You are awesome. I love you, and I'll have a great show.
Thank you. Love you, too. Okay, folks, he's a big part of Fall of the Republic. Get the DVD. Get it out to everybody. This thing is powerful. It exposes their agenda. And you hear the buzz is great on the street. We're going to play a few minutes of Jesse Ventura from our interview yesterday, and then we're going to come live in studio with Dr. Sherri Tenpenny. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, we're into hour number 2, simulcasting the syndicated radio transmission at prisonplanet.tv in living color. Joining us from Minnesota, he's about to travel down to Mexico, do some surfing, is former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura, of course, a star of films like The Running Man, Predator, and many other films. He's hosted a MSNBC national television show. He's hosted NFL football. There's not much this guy hadn't done. And now he's got a huge show. They're saying it's going to be their big push in the winter, their big #1 promoted show. And I'm seeing that now in the media. That's Conspiracy Theory, created by Jesse Ventura. I'm a consultant on it. I'm in some of the episodes. I'm very honored to be involved in it. And to give you the inside scoop, he starts the Media Blitz tomorrow. To give you the inside scoop is Jesse Ventura with us for the next hour. We may twist his arm a little bit in the next hour to take some phone calls, but we'll see. Governor, it is good to have you here with us.
Hi, Alex. Great to be here again.
Are you going to?
I guess I should call you Huggy Bear. and I'll explain that for a moment. No, Alex has been good enough. He appears in a couple of the episodes of Conspiracy Theory that we did, and so because he's the only really reoccurring character we've ever had in the first initial buy, we went back to the old Starsky and Hutch show, and you all remember Huggy Bear, don't you? The guy that always brought the information to Starsky and Hutch?
Yes.
Well, that's you now, Alex. You're our Huggy Bear.
Well, I'm honored to be your Huggy Bear. You've not been able to talk about the show till now. They've unleashed you. You barely talked about it on Larry King Live last week, but now you've been given the green light to give people a foretaste or a idea of what's going to be in the 7 episodes. And so we're all ears, Governor. I mean, tell us about some of the episodes.
Well, first of all, when I went on Larry, it was because, it was election night, and Larry truly wanted my opinion on the latest off-year elections, which I'll do this right now. To me, why do they even have off-year elections? It's hard enough to get people out there to vote. Have them all on year. They do that so that they get a small voter turnout because it's easier to control small numbers. And so that's why that happens pretty much. But that being said, that's why I was on Larry, was mainly for the election stuff, not so much a promotion of the show, because I'll be going back on Larry later on the end of the month, right when it gets to the debut date, which of course is December the 2nd on the True Channel at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. And so I'll be going back on Larry then, and at that point in time, it'll be a promo for the show. So I just did Larry where they promoted a little bit, but it was mostly on voting, or on the vote election.
Well, Governor, hold on. We're about to go to break, and I don't want to stop you. I want you to have free flow and go over as much as you can tell us about the episodes, because I've consulted some, but I still only have a few pieces of the overall puzzle. And I know that you've stated that you believe this is fair, and from our perspective, probably the first television show ever that's actually from people who questions perspective. That doesn't mean that you or I or anybody buys all of what's being said out there. So I want to talk about that when we come back in just a minute. But in the 1 minute we've got, what is your take on Republicans sweeping all over the country and Obama's plunging approval rating?
Well, I don't think it's so much Republicans sweeping.
Okay.
As you know, they lost that congressional.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back after this quick break, Dr. Sherri Tenpenny is our guest in studio for this hour and the rest of the next hour. She's hopping on a plane. Why is she in Austin? She's been having a health department debate at the University of Texas, was at another event today. We'll give you the inside scoop, the latest flu developments from the number one person out there fighting the vaccines and exposing them, medical doctor Sherri Tenpenny. Before I break, I want to tell you about a few of the sponsors that have made today's radio broadcast possible. One of them is eFoods Direct, efoodsdirect.com. This is the longest continually operating storable foods company in the nation. It's non-GMO, non-hybrid. It's all grown right here in the U.S., all recently packed. Their bananas are from outside the U.S., that's it. And you're not buying 10-year-old stuff or year-old stuff or 6-month-old stuff. They pack it constantly. The J. Michael Stevens Group, the website is efoodsdirect.com. With all the crazy talk of war and depression and flu, in this insane world, you need to be self-sufficient. The globalists, with cap and trade and all of it, don't want you to be self-sufficient and be able to take care of yourself. That's why we believe in storable foods, gold gun, not because we're in fear, but because we're in charge. efoodsdirect.com or 1-800-409-5633, 1-800-409-5633. We're going to come back and go to Dr. Sherri Tenpenny here in studio and cover all the big developments with the flu and her debate. It almost didn't happen because they couldn't find anybody to debate her. So that is coming up after this quick break. And the websites, of course, are prisonplanet.com and infowars.com. Stay with us.